they can't believe they're in the situation where they've been virtually decapitated.
Well, joining us live now is Meet the Press moderator, Kristen Welker. Kristen, of course, we just heard a very small bit of that interview, but you did press President Trump on the negotiations with Iran. Why haven't we seen a deal yet? What does he have to say about that?
President Trump stressing the fact, Shernay.
This is the fallen deputy, just 27 years old, Deputy Devin Jaramillo. Miami-Dade Sheriff Rosie Cordero Studd says he was responding to a traffic crash when he was ambushed, brutally attacked, and murdered. NBC6 reporter Brianna Nesbro picks up our coverage from here. She's live for us on scene where shots were fired. And Brianna, this has to be such a difficult investigation for this department. I keep thinking he was just 27 years old.
The response time was immediately by our police officers.
All right, you have been listening to a press conference surrounding what happened here at City Place Doral. Now, initially, investigators say that they were responding to a death investigation. Now we're learning a lot more information about what happened here. We learned that a security guard was shot and killed here at City Place Doral at a commercial establishment while performing his duties at City Place Doral. Now, we'd also know that during that interaction, multiple people were also hit by gunfire. 6 people were struck. One of those people, a woman, 5 men, they were taken to different hospitals, including Kendall Regional Trauma Center and Jackson Memorial as well. We also know that 2 officers shot back during this exchange. One of them injured by gunfire. That officer, 4 years on the job. We're told he applied a tourniquet on himself, which officials say helped him save his own life. Power lines are still down, as you can probably see here. As I mentioned, the neighborhood, complete destruction. There is no data signals. There is no service here. And we are only talking to you because we have a Starlink with us. And despite all the damage that you see here, the focus is not rebuilding. It's survival, coast to coast. All right, South Florida, thank you for joining us. I'm Shernay Amara.
And I'm Chris Anderson on this Friday morning. Who put Wednesday in the teleprompter? We're not going all the way back to midweek.
Not backwards. See right there, it says Friday.
Got Friday.
Yeah. Friday.
We've got the weekend ahead of us. So we got to get a game plan in place. We're going to get to all those stories we told you about in just a moment. First, let's focus on that wet forecast.
Yeah, so let's bring in first certain meteorologist Adam Berg with all those details. Hey, Adam.
I hope the stories in that prompter aren't from Wednesday.
That'd be a little weird.
Well, a night in a busy part of Wynwood ending with gunshots, road closures, and at least 2 people confirmed dead. This is a look at the scene along Northwest 1st Court and 23rd Street earlier this morning. You can see the flashing red and blue lights and police tape here. But that is also where we find NBC6's Brianna Nesbro with what we're learning so far about what happened out there. Still a very active scene behind you.
Very active. Brianna Nesbro, NBC6 News.
And the breaking news continues, this time overseas, as tensions spark in the Middle East. Early Friday, Israel launched strikes on Iran, targeting nuclear sites. Then in a televised speech, Iran's president promised a, quote, powerful response overnight. And overnight, we saw waves of missiles targeting Israel. According to 3 American officials, the U.S. is now helping Israel shoot down Iranian missiles. We're also learning that Iran's attacks might not be over. An Iranian state-affiliated news agency warns the attacks could expand to, quote, all occupied lands and American bases in that region. In response to the escalations, the UN Security Council called an emergency meeting. Now, that meeting was held after Iran accused the United States of being complicit in Israel's attacks on the Islamic Republic. Washington has continued to deny these allegations. Israel's UN ambassador said that intelligence had confirmed Iran could have produced enough material for multiple bombs within days. Be sure to stick with NBC6 as we continue to follow the very latest coming out of the Middle East. We will keep you updated on air and online, as well as across our digital platforms. Right now, across the country, police are preparing for today's No King's Day protest, where demonstrators are expressing their frustrations with President Trump's policies, and that includes South Florida as well. Well, NBC6's Adrian Criscall joins us live from West Palm Beach, where one of those protests already stepping off. Good morning.
That's all I have from now. From West Palm Beach, I'm Adrian Criscall. Back to you.
All right, Adrian, we'll be checking in with you throughout the morning, and we will have continuing coverage from the demonstrations planned for the No Kings protests. Well, shifting gears now at 9:09, just days after a jogger was killed in a hit and run. Miami-Dade County is taking action to make sure the area is safer. Well, new stop signs have been put up in place in the Shenandoah Park area to slow down traffic. Neighbors have long called the street a danger zone, and now local leaders, including Commissioner Eileen Higgins, are responding.
Those intersections.
Well, Commissioner Higgins says the city will now work on taking other measures to make sure the streets are safe. Well, through a statement this morning, we are now hearing from the father whose son was killed in an unlocked high-rise apartment. Well, the teen was stabbed to death last weekend in a rental unit. The 17-year-old Dominic Farrell was staying with his father, John, at the Icon Residences, even though a restraining order was in place due to a contentious divorce and allegations of domestic violence. In his statement, John Farrell says Dominic chose to stay with him the night he was stabbed while sleeping. Miami police say 26-year-old Kirill Kyle went floor to floor until he found an unlocked door. In the statement, John Farrell called it unimaginable that a violent and deranged man was able to enter the residential floors of the building. He said that he chose to stay at this well-known building because of his expectation of safety and security. He also wrote that on this Father's Day to hug your children and be appreciative of moments that you may have with your children. Alrighty, well, Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight, and it's up in Edmonton. In this series between the Panthers and Oilers, it's been a roller coaster, and one Panthers player is getting praised by NHL legend Wayne Gretzky. NBC6 sports anchor Giselle Espinales joins us live once again from Edmonton with more on that. Good morning.
Shirley, back to you, the studio.
All right, Giselle, thank you. Here's what's still ahead on NBC6. Coming up, a new body cam video shows the frantic moments after a shark attack. Watch how a mom describes to officials how her daughter was injured.